Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is July 14th, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, inflation is here big time and the markets react differently. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day. Starting out at 2:30 South African time out of the United States, we have a monthly PPI number coming out. That's an important number that's coming out as well. And then at 4 p.m. South African time out of Canada, we have a rate statement. That's a interest rate statement from the Central Bank of Canada. Now, looking at the various markets with this inflationary report, the US dollar strengthens across the board, specifically against the USD Rand. And looking at the indices, the NASDAQ gets and flies to breaking out to new record highs and then gives up its gains. Now the Dow Jones tapers off, and as we look at the commodities, both gold and oil gain in this environment. Now looking at the stocks, Microsoft made new record highs yesterday at 280 and then giving it up. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin breaking support at a very important level. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're looking here at the daily of the Euro USD, and you can see we're back at our lows at 17.98. This was a dead cat bounce. Now, everybody was waiting for this inflationary report because ultimately this inflationary report kind of gauges how weak the dollar is becoming, the purchasing power the dollar is becoming in vis-a-vis its own purchasing power, not anything related to any other currencies. And it's getting weaker, meaning goods and services are getting more expensive in the States, and that means that devalues money. Okay, and we're that type of environment right now as the central bank is feeding so much money into the markets. Now, this is being affected with all the currencies actually getting weaker versus the dollar. Aussie USD also retraced a little bit, but showing some relative strength. GBP USD did retrace a bit. Now, I want to highlight this because a lot is happening in South Africa with the riots, and that's affecting the price of the South African rand. Discourse, some sort of political unrest always sets prices higher. And sure enough, we're trading at 1474 right now, a much weaker whole basis point from its 1370 low as it got stronger. And once it broke that level yesterday, that moving average, a 30-day moving average, look at where we're at right now. I do expect us to hit some sort of turbulence between this 1475 and 15, okay, and to consolidate with this area, but just keep an eye on it. If the unrest actually settles, we may see it actually correct itself and get back to the low 14-ish level. Now, looking at the USD Canadian dollar, I'm going to look first at the daily chart. As the Canadian dollar has gotten much weaker versus the USD, up from 120 to 125, we are at resistance-ish area. So I do expect some sort of major move as this rate decision comes out. So just be aware of it. So lots happening in the currencies as things are cooking up with inflationary numbers. Now looking at gold. Gold gains in this type of environment. Okay, it's trading at 1813 and I expect it to gain even further. Now looking at oil, also gaining a little bit here at 74.99, at $75 for all intensive purposes. So we see it actually solidifying on the upside. Now looking at the Dow Jones, tapering off here at 34,720 as it's off of its highs by 170 points from yesterday. And looking at the NASDAQ flew to almost 15,000 before giving up its gains and selling off at 14,863. Now, this is happening across the board. Like if we look at the stocks, Apple off of its highs at 143 from 145. Facebook also not trading at 354, trading over only 6 points. Now, I'm not saying this is the beginning of a sell-off, but it's a beginning of an exhaustion point. Now, we may be consolidating in this area, but we're not breaking out unless one of these stocks decides to take it higher. Now, the one stock that may do that is Microsoft. We're looking at it at 279, only about $2 off of its all-time highs. So showing some strength there. Now looking at Bitcoin, okay, this is really very important as it broke that 32,000. If we look at it daily, that's an important break. Last time we were here, we tested this low in June, at the end of June. And now we're almost at the end of July, or really rather mid-July right now. and we're retesting it. There is a supportish level right here at 30,000, okay? 30,600 is a support level. So just be aware of it. If it does breach that, then we could see ourselves going back to 26,000, okay? That would be our next real stop. So just be aware that there's some support. Even though it broke this 32,000, there's another support at 30,600-ish level, and it may continue breaking that. Now, we're going to have sporadic, because I'm going to be on a little bit of a holiday, we're going to have sporadic market reviews on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with a weekend review moving forward going into the next few weeks. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.